Staying on the topic of Hollywood, The Promise opens in theaters across southern Arizona today. And entertainment reporter Jim Ferguson takes a look at what we can expect. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning. Our Hollywood happening today looks at the epic film The Promise. Set during the last days of the Ottoman Empire, the film follows a love triangle, which is more like a love square, between Michael, played by Oscar Isaac, a brilliant medical student, the beautiful Anna, played by Charlotte LeBon, and Christian Bale stars as Chris, a renowned American journalist. Wow, this movie, The Promise, set in 1914, the corruption or the end of the Ottoman Empire. Agree with me? It's an epic film.
Very epic, yeah, definitely. Terry George, the director, you know, he's a great fan of David Lean, big fan of Reds, the Warren Beatty film, and that's what he wanted, Dr. Zhivago, and that was his model.
Yeah, yeah. Your character, Chris Myers, real person? Real?
No.
No?
No. Mixture. I kind of looked at the muckrakers, they were called at the time. The journalists who started looking into political scandals and trying to uncover the truth there, and Upton Sinclair is a very famous one, and a gentleman called Lincoln Steffens, who I found really interesting, and I definitely, you know, used him as a as a bouncing board, and but no fictional character. But a
photojournalist that worked for Associated Press. Right?
Yes. But now, much of the documentation about the Armenian genocide comes from the U.S. missionaries, because the U.S. wasn't at war, so they were allowed to have U.S. missionaries in there, and actually a lot of the Turkish allies as well. But it was illegal to photograph anything. And they would confiscate it. But a German soldier, Wegener, he managed to get most of the photo documentation that's out there now. But what I liked about it was also the fact that you've got a man who is jaded, who has seen it all, who's been on war fronts many times, who's a man of appetites. You know, you see him briefly, you know, imbibing absinthe. You know he's probably done everything under the sun. And now he's faced with loved ones who are personally hurt and affected by this genocide. And so he makes the transition from somebody who is an observer to somebody who actually chooses to reject those general journalistic ethics of you remain aloof, to becoming a participant, to actually becoming a part of the story.
A toast to old friends and new.
Christopher Myers.
Chris is a star reporter for the Associated Press.
May I introduce Mademoiselle Anna Kasari.
You're going to become a doctor.
I hear a French accent.
I lived in Paris for many years, but I'm a proud Armenian. Mikhail, you make me feel I've come home.
These Germans want your Sultan to declare holy war.
Oh my God, what was that?
It's very dangerous for Armenians right now.
This is our opportunity. We will restore the great Ottoman Empire.
We cannot be here. We must leave.
What is the Associated Press doing here, Mr. Myers?
Reporting on the war.
There is no war here. Merely the evacuation of the civilian population to a safer region.
You are using this so-called relocation as a cover.
Well, The Promise is an excellent epic film. In fact, it's the first of its kind actually discussing the Armenian genocide in 1914. With World War I on the horizon, the genocide becomes the backdrop to a love story. It's beautifully and lavishly shot, and it's relevant to what's happening in the Middle East today. Finally, the directing, the acting, the costumes are just all outstanding. It's rated PG-13, my grade a beautiful B. Well, also opening today for the kids, the animation comedy Leap. Voice talents include Elle Fanning, Unforgettable, a thriller starring Rosario Dawson, and finally, a sci-fi mystery, Phoenix Forgotten, of course, set in Phoenix, Arizona. I'll see you right here next Tuesday on The Morning Blend.